First Federal program on WROI Giant FM and streaming live on the First Federal Facebook page.
Yes, indeed. It is a beautiful Friday morning. It's a little chilly, but you know, it's November 3rd. It's what you should be expecting. And we're joined in the studio now by Tanner Lee of the First Federal Savings Bank. Good morning.
Good morning, Paul. A little dark out there this morning.
A little bit. It'll be a little bit lighter Monday morning.
Yeah, why is that?
Because daylight saving time ends Saturday night, Sunday morning at 2 a.m. Clocks will fall back an hour.
So we get an extra hour of sleep, what you're saying?
No.
No.
That never works for me. I end up getting up at the same time.
Are you a fan of
No.
daylight savings time in
No.
general? No.
No, I want to go back to the way it was when I was a kid. Your shows either came on an hour earlier or an hour later, depending on what time of year it
Yep,
was.
you adjust to that, and that's all you had to worry about, right?
Yep. I didn't have to worry about going and setting my clocks
Yep.
and all that stuff. Of course, now, you know, all our smartphones just automatically update.
Phones
but
do. The houses around the clock, the clocks around the house, not so much.
If you have those analog clocks. Now,
Yeah,
I know a lot of people have digital clocks
Right.
and atomic clocks.
Yeah.
That's all built in, so
Right.
you won't have to worry. But don't forget to change your clock back before you go to bed Saturday
Yeah,
night.
just do it midday Saturday if you think about it, really. I mean,
Yeah.
what's it going to hurt? So,
Yeah.
that's what I'll probably do. Maybe early evening.
Car
Saturday.
radio will be right for a change.
Yes.
I know a lot of people don't change those and they just go,
Yeah.
it's okay.
We'll get it. It'll be on the right time here in a couple months, and then
Yep.
Yeah. So, yes, but we've got a fun show in store this morning. We're going to speak with Fedco Executive Director Michael Ladd later on in the program. So looking forward to talking to him. But like always, Paul, I brought some trivia with me.
Of course you did.
So the Texas Rangers won the World Series this week over the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Mm-hmm.
They were one of the teams in the MLB going into the World Series who had never won a World Series.
Yep.
So take them off the list. So how many of the 124 teams among the big four sports leagues, so the NBA, NFL, NHL, and MLB, have never won a championship?
Okay.
And I'm going to give you four guesses, so I'm not just leaving it high and dry. Is it 28, 38, 48, or 58? I'll give you the whole show to think about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need it
Yeah.
because I'm cool with
You
it.
got a 1 in 4 shot. You got 25% chance.
Yeah.
But yes, the Rangers won the World Series 4 games to 1 and won it pretty easily. I mean, besides the game they won, most of their games were blowouts. And the other night they took a no-hitter pretty far into the game,
Yeah.
so which had a lot of viewership, which I think the World Series needed because this was one of the lowest viewed World Series of all time, which I think was kind of expected going into it.
Yep. And they knew that going into it. I mean, it was predicted to be the lowest viewed World Series in history.
Right.
So
I think, if I'm not mistaken, the lowest going into this World Series was the 2005 World Series between the Astros and the White Sox.
Okay.
Which is interesting because Chicago's a big market, but that's not the most popular team in Chicago. When it comes to baseball, it's the Cubs. And now the Astros have changed. I mean, they've been pretty dominant over the last 7 years.
Oh yeah.
That franchise is a lot different than it was back in 2005.
Yes.
But plenty of sports to go over this morning. Have some local sports. Girls high school basketball is underway.
Yes, it is.
I could not believe that when I saw that last night. I'm like, it just seems a little early. It used to be right around Thanksgiving time when the boys started, the girls started.
Yeah, and then they, to avoid sectionals running into each other, they moved the girls back.
Sure. We got some local scores to go over. Caston defeated Argus 66-46. I think Argus defeated Caston. I think I have that written down wrong. Tippecanoe Valley over Bremen last night, 54-39. In North Judson edged out Rochester in a really good game, 43-42. Leading scorer there was our own Stacy Wilson, her daughter Aubrey Wilson, who's a freshman.
Yeah.
In her debut had a game high 13 points.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Aubrey. This is an exciting way to get your high school career started off right. So,
Yes, it is.
And Rochester's in action tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So
At Caston.
at Caston, and I presume some of these other schools are in action too. So it's that time of year.
It's that time of year where it's easier to go over the scores from the night before than talk about the upcoming games.
Yes, it is. So, and unfortunately, all the local area high school football teams had their season end last week in sectionals. So, but the playoffs still have a ways to go. Sectional championships tonight, and on the regionals, and and so forth. So,
Yep.
college football, only 4 weeks left in the regular season.
I know.
It's crunch time for some teams. Got all 3 of the big in-state teams in action this weekend. Indiana comes in with a record of 2-6. They host Wisconsin, who has a record of 5-3. Wisconsin's a 9.5-point favorite. That game's at noon tomorrow on the Big Ten Network. Notre Dame is in action again after demolishing Pittsburgh last week. They're ranked 15th. They're record 7-2. They traveled to Clemson. This isn't your typical Clemson team in the last 5 years. This Clemson team's 4-4, struggling a little bit.
Yes.
So Notre Dame finds themselves as a 3-point favorite on the road. That game's also at noon on ABC, which is kind of surprising. Usually that game's a night game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
put it on noon this year on ABC. And then my Purdue Boilermakers continue to struggle. They're 2-6. It's not going to get any easier for them tomorrow. They're on the road at number 3, undefeated Michigan, who is 8-0, and who is not going to be happy after all these stealing, all the allegations came out the last 2 weeks. They're on bye week, just sitting there waiting to play. Purdue finds themselves 32.5-point underdogs, which my research is the biggest they've been in pretty much since I could find. So that game's tomorrow night on NBC at 7:30. So it's a national televised game.
Yeah.
Which really I think it's coming down to NBC tries to grab Michigan or Ohio State every week if they can, because they're both undefeated, both have huge fan bases, huge followings, so they're going to get ratings. So.
Yeah.
But there's a reason you play the game, so we'll see if Purdue can't shock the world. But they're going to need
I'll check on you tomorrow night.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We might need it. In professional football, both the Colts and Bears suffered losses last week. The Colts to the Saints and the Bears to the Chargers, so they're looking for bounce back wins this week. Colts are now 3-5, but they are 1.5-point favorites on the road against Carolina, who got their first win of the season last week. So there's going to be no winless teams this year. Carolina's 1-6. That game's at 4:05 on CBS, but it's also right here on WROI.
Yes, it will be.
So tune in to Matt Taylor for the pregame, the game itself, and the postgame. Just set your radio right there and let it go all day.
Exactly.
And the Bears are 2-6. They travel to New Orleans to face the Saints, who are 3-4. The Saints are 8.5-point favorites. That game's at 1 o'clock on CBS. So no worries about the crossovers with different times this week. Got some tidbits here this morning, Paul. On this day in 1911, Chevrolet officially entered the automobile market in competition with the Ford Model T. They've done pretty well for themselves.
I'd say so.
On this day in 1956, the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz was televised for the first time.
Okay.
Now it's on TV quite often, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
You will see it on a lot.
Yes, I think TNT has a big enjoyment out of playing that as
Yeah.
often as they can.
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. All the Turner networks, I believe, especially TNT. On this day in 1994, small forward Glenn Robinson, who played at Purdue, was signed to the then most lucrative, rookie contract in NBA history. It was a 10-year, $68.15 million deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. And on this day in 1994, the Sony PlayStation console was released in Japan.
Yes, I had one of those.
I did too. Much later than 1994, but I had one.
I got one shortly after it came out, so I think it might have been 95 when I got mine.
I guess I didn't realize it came out that early. I thought it was more 96, 97.
And it might have been.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
But
Japan had it for a couple of years before it was released.
Tested out the bugs a little bit.
Yeah, I know shortly after it hit shelves, I got one for Christmas.
And on this day in 2007, Navy beat Notre Dame by a score of 46-44 in triple overtime.
Wow.
And why this was such a big deal, it ended the Fighting Irish's NCAA football record winning streak against the Midshipmen at 43 games.
Wow.
So they had a 43-game win streak over Navy.
Yeah.
The last Navy win before that over Notre Dame was 35-14 in 1963.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yes. Here we got some national days today. Today's National Sandwich Day. What's your favorite sandwich?
Oh boy. Either grilled cheese, hot ham and cheese, BLT.
Can't go wrong with those.
Yeah.
Michael, do you have a favorite sandwich?
Reuben.
Reuben? Okay.
All right.
Okay. What is my favorite sandwich?
Yeah.
I mean, cheeseburger, if that counts as a sandwich, but if we're going sandwich, I like a good peanut butter sandwich.
All right. All right.
Pretty simple. It's also Japanese Culture Day.
Okay.
Love Your Lawyer Day, which I guess is always a good thing if you have yourself
Yeah,
a
if
lawyer.
you have yourself a lawyer, you better love him, because he's probably helping you out.
World Jellyfish Day, Smart Home Day,
Oh, okay.
National Housewife Day, Cliche Day, and Fountain Pen Day.
Alright.
You use fountain pens?
Not in a while.
As I have a click pen in my hand right
Yeah.
here. So, it's just the enjoyment of doing the click there.
Uh-huh.
Got some upcoming local events going on. See, the Times Theater is showing a free family matinee showing of Freebirds tomorrow.
Okay.
That's at 2 p.m. and it's sponsored by Pike Lumber Company. Thank you for sponsoring that. Have you ever seen that movie,
I
Freebirds?
have not.
I have not
I
either.
was sitting there trying to think if I had, and I
Yeah.
don't recall
Looks
seeing
like an
it.
animated movie.
Yeah.
So take the kids up there. That's 2 o'clock at the Times Theater.
Yeah.
The First Federal, we are open today from 8:30 to 5, and tomorrow from 8:30 to noon. You can always bank with us online and with our mobile app, which is free to download. So no matter if you have an Android or iPhone, go to your App Store, Google Play Store, type in First Federal Savings Bank, look for the white star with green background. And our ATM is open 24/7 as well if you need some cash. Saw some people in line this morning at the bank at 7 a.m. in line
Yeah.
for the ATM. So
They were there at about 6:15 when I drove by.
most times if you drive by, there's going to be somebody in line at
Yeah.
our ATM there on 9th Street. And if you're out of the area of any of our 6 branch locations this weekend, maybe you're doing some early holiday shopping, or just some traveling this weekend, and you want to use an ATM, and you're like, I'm not sure if I want to use this ATM because I might get charged surcharge fee. We're part of the MoneyPass network. Just go to moneypass.com. You can find any ATM in the area that's part of the MoneyPass network. You can use that ATM. You won't get charged a surcharge fee.
It's a nice benefit.
Yeah, it is. It is. We still have our 10-month CD special going on at a 5.10% annual percentage yield. So that's a really good rate. Come see one of our tellers today. They'd be happy to get you set up with that. And we decided to extend our 2 great purchase specials we had going on in September and October. We extend them through the end of this month.
Okay.
So they'll run through November 30th. And what that means is for our purchase special for all fixed rate sellable loans, this goes from now through November 30th, we'll receive a lender credit, $750 lender credit for loans of $200,000 and less, and a $1,250 lender credit for loans above $200,000. So I mean, if you're in the market to buy a new home, come see us, and we can help you save some money on closing costs. And if you're in the market to build a home, we have a construction perm special going on right now, and on our 7/6 ARM, our adjustable rate mortgage. If you're not familiar with what ARM is, and our 30-year fixed rate programs. Ask one of our loan originators for more details on that. That'd be Ben Dalton, Stacy Wilson here in Rochester, Winnemac, and we also have loan originators in Bremen, Elkhart, Plymouth, Mishawaka as well. So. We offer Simply Free checking accounts and Simply Free business checking accounts. When you open up a new checking account, you'll get a free gift. And right now we're offering the Dolly Parton loaf pan,
Yeah, it's
which
a nice little
I
pan.
brought in last week for everybody to see on Facebook Live. So
Yeah, you can do more than just bake bread in that thing.
yeah, you can use it for many different things. So it's got a sparkly pan there. So
Yeah.
if you're big at baking bread or just baking in general, it's right up your alley. Or if you're thinking, I want that, but I don't want to open up a new account, I already have an account or multiple accounts with us, but you can always refer a friend and get that gift. You can refer a friend in person or online, and when your friend comes in to open up the checking account, they'll get a free gift for opening up the account, but you will as well for referring them.
Yes.
Multiple ways you can get that.
Yeah, yeah. So let everybody know I sent you.
Perfect. Paul Zartman sent you. There you go. We offer commercial lending for businesses. Contact Lindy Breeden for more information. His direct line is 574-223-1716. And contact Mark Blueball or Brian Bell of our financial service department for more information on planning your retirement, 401ks, IRAs, those type of deals. Or maybe you want to enroll in Medicare, which there's open enrollment right now until December 7th. You can give them a call. They can help you with that as well. Their direct line is 574-223-1705.
Okay.
And we are active on all social media accounts. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter/X, whatever you want to call it now. Follow us on Instagram. Our 2 handles on those platforms are at FF Banking. Like us on LinkedIn, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, which you can find an archive of the First Federal Radio shows from the past 4 years. Not only go back and see previous guests we've had on, but to see how this beautiful studio right here on 8th Street's changed.
Yeah.
We're the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We're FDIC insured and equal housing lender. And our NMLS number is 399927.
And that makes us
That
legal.
makes us legal and ready to get to the meat of our program here and welcome our special guest, FedCo Executive Director Michael Ladd. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us this
Oh,
morning.
no problem.
So, Michael, you are now a little over 10 months on the job. How are things going for you over at FedCo?
They're going fine. I think so. We've seen a lot of improvement and a lot of change in attitudes and whatnot. So I'm very satisfied with it.
Great.
The way things are going.
Great. Big topic of discussion for us this morning is going to be housing. Housing in Fulton County. Housing is a big topic, not only in Fulton County, but around the state and really around the whole nation right now. We're seeing that there's not a lot of inventory out there on the market. So what are some of the things you're seeing and some of the things that you're doing to maybe help with that cause a little bit?
Actually, you're right on spot, Henry. There is a housing crisis, and it's not just in Fulton County
Right.
or in Indiana. It's all over the place. We're falling behind in many ways nationwide in some of our basics. But where we are in our housing study here in Fulton County is we had our housing symposium about 5 weeks ago, I think it was. And what we've done is identify the different types of housing we think that Fulton can handle. And of course, it's going to be every type of housing possible.
Oh, sure.
So what we're doing right now is identifying contractors that we have already been working with. I have received numerous contacts from, excuse me, from contractors from up north, down south, a few from Ohio, a few from Illinois, wanting to be informed about the program, what we're doing, how far along we are. And so what I'm doing at this point is contacting them, and they have to give us certain information so that we can see that they're here actually, that they can undertake the project is what I'm trying to say. Because not all contractors are the same. So that's number one that we're up to right now, and that's a little bit time consuming. It's getting things out and doing a lot of research on the net. But the other thing that we're doing in a couple of weeks, I'll be going to the county commissioners with a program called Who's Your Homes, and this is actually right up your alley. It's a financial program designed to help first-time and repeat home buyers with up to 5% assistance on their down payment and closing costs.
Great.
And we all know, if you buy a house, you've ever owned one, those can be prohibitive.
Oh, yes.
So anything like this is going to be positive. What this also does is it gives you a 30-year fixed rate mortgage on your loan, and you have competitive rates. One thing that they want you to do is join something called Club 720, which offers affordable grants and the affordable mortgage loan products that go into the Who's Your Homes product. And the only thing that, there's minimum qualifications at this point, which is a credit score of 620, and there are income and purchase price limits on this. And if you are a first-time home buyer, you have to go through this home buyer education program, which is that part of the 720 club.
Sure.
So, and once, like I said, I'll be going to the county commissioners. There are 5 counties and 3 cities in Indiana right now that are part of this program. And if the county commissioners agree to pass this resolution, this will impact the entire county.
Great.
So Fulton, Akron, anybody is involved in this whole thing. And from what I can tell, this is a pretty powerful tool to help first-time and existing homeowners to get into new homes, upgrade themselves, and work from there. So right now, that's where we're at, and it sounds like a little, but boy, there's a lot of work involved in this.
So this program, you said there's 5 counties and 3 cities involved with the program.
Mm-hmm.
Have they been involved with this program for a little while, or are they pretty new to it?
No, a couple of years. What happened was my understanding of it, because I'm still a little bit new to this, was the feds ran the program and let it go, and then somebody got smart and they brought it back.
Yeah.
You know, and in Indiana right now we've got Marion, Steuben, LaGrange, DeKalb, Kosciuszko counties are involved in it, and the cities of Wabash, Fort Wayne, and Gary. And I was on the websites yesterday looking at all of this and seeing how they're administer their programs and whatnot. It's all pretty much the same. It's all pretty much rote, but it's interesting to see the increase in new home ownership.
Yeah.
Go through this because, like we said earlier, trying to get that down payment, that mortgage, it's a killer.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is. And you know, I see a lot of people that don't think they can afford a home, so they're renting. Yet their rent's just as high as a lot of times down payments on a home or even just a regular mortgage on a home.
Yeah.
So renting's not cheap either right now. So
Nothing's cheap.
nothing's cheap right now. So.
No, I've got friends, I came up from New Orleans, I think most people know, and I've got a friend who, he owns his own home.
Mhm.
It's a small farm type thing,
Mhm.
actually. His house payment is lower than a lot of people's rent
Yeah.
payments
Yeah.
by a third, you know.
Yeah.
So there is an advantage to owning your home
Sure.
instead of renting.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the next step, we said with this program, you go to the county commissioners. What's the step after that, assuming that goes well?
It will just apply getting the word out. What we're doing right now, actually, I'm not doing it. The housing hub unit that we're working with is doing it. They're setting up a meeting with all the bankers in the county. I'm going to be involved in this meeting because I need to know as much about
Sure.
it as I can. And what they're going to do is it'll be a virtual meeting, and we will all be educated on how this program actually works. Get down into the details. They really don't release any details until you join.
Until you join, then you
Yeah,
get the.
and then you get the information, you know. I'm looking forward to it because I talked to my counterparts, a couple of them the other day, you know, how has this helped you? And it's like, oh, this has just been a godsend, it's tremendous help,
Yeah.
you know. And so if we can get it into Fulton County, which I think we probably will, this will be another step forward that we need right now.
Yeah, step in the right direction, that's all we can ask for.
It's all you can ask for, and I think we're going in the right direction.
Great. Speaking with FedCo Executive Director Michael Ladd this morning, we're talking about the topic that we see a problem nationally, not just in Fulton County, Indiana, which is housing. What are a few other problems you've noticed as far as housing around Fulton County, as far as not just lack of inventory?
Condition, to be honest with you. Some of the stuff that I have gone through, I've taken some tours, whatnot. There's a lot of upgrade to be done.
Right,
I
older
think.
homes.
Yeah, one of the things that we're kind of addressing on this way, we're still trying to figure out how to get it done. Ready 2 is up and running right now, and we've identified some 10 projects, 10 ideas that we're eventually going to have to whittle down to 5. And we will go after. Housing is going to be a major component. It's like number 1 and number 1. And so we're going to pursue that. One component is not just how do we work with the housing hub, bring in new housing, but how do we help rehab some of the existing housing and downtown structures that we've got
Sure.
right now. You know, and then the question becomes, how much money do we ask for?
Right.
Right.
You know, and you got to get estimates and things like that. But that, I mean, that is complicated. That's part of it. And actually, that's where I'm going to spend my afternoon is in Tipton, working on this very project with the state and our regional people. So it's just a never-ending cycle.
Right.
You know, and
Constant effort.
there's been a lot of neglect, and hopefully that's coming to an end.
Yes. Anything else you'd like to plug this morning?
No, I think those 2 are the major ones. I appreciate it.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you for everything you do, not only just for tackling this problem that is housing in Fulton County, but everything in Fulton County. Thank you for everything you've done the first 10 months, and
Thank you.
things are going in the right direction.
I hope so.
Yes. All right, Paul. I'll give you all show to think about this trivia question.
Yeah.
Let's go over it again. So the big 4 leagues, you got NFL, NHL, NBA, and MLB. So there's 124 total teams throughout those leagues. You got 30 in the NBA, 30 in the MLB, 32 in the NHL, and 32 in the NFL. That's a lot of ends there. How many of these 124 teams have never won a championship? Not never made it, never won a championship. 28, 38, 48, or 58?
I'm gonna hate myself for getting it wrong, but 48.
48. Michael, any guesses?
No guesses at all?
No guesses at all? Now I gotta get my sheet here.
Oh, I figured you knew it right off the top of your
I
head.
want to make sure I know. 38.
Oh,
38.
see, that didn't seem right to me, so I avoided that one.
So there's only 5 now in the MLB after the Rangers won this week. There's 10 in the NBA after the Nuggets won last year. There's 11 on the NHL after the Golden Knights won last year. And then there's 12 in the NFL, which I think that was the most surprising. To me, out of 32 teams, there's still 12.
Yeah.
Now, the list of teams who have never made the Super Bowl are a lot shorter than that.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
teams that have
yeah.
made it and haven't won. But,
It's like one team.
well, the Browns are one of the teams. But maybe this is the year for the Browns. They're off to a decent start for it.
You never say that. You can't. As a Cleveland fan, if you say that, you just kiss the whole season goodbye.
But only 38 teams out of 124. So a lot of teams, a lot of fan bases, a lot of cities have celebrated championships over the years. So
All right.
pretty interesting.
Yes, very.
Well, let's close with some words of wisdom this morning from a Chinese philosopher that we've probably all heard of named Confucius.
Yeah.
It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. And I think those are fitting words for what we talked about this morning with the housing crisis.
Yes.
One step at a time, constant effort.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter how slow you go, just as long as you don't stop.
All right. Well, thank you, Tanner, so much. Michael,
you, Paul.
thank you for joining us as well. And we'll see you guys again next week.
Be here. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With those words of wisdom, this has been the First Federal Program.